Good afternoon to my friends, enemies, family, and foes. Today, we have some insane news about the chaos that is ensuing in Afghanistan because Joe Biden decided to withdraw United States troops from the country. So recently, Joe Biden announced that the United States would be pulling all of its troops out of Afghanistan. And pulling out the troops led to fears that there would be different power struggles in the country. And as we saw, the Taliban was clearly struggling for power. The Taliban is a guerrilla army that over the past week has went to multiple cities in Afghanistan and overthrew the local governments and has now overthrown the nationwide government of Afghanistan, making the former president flee the country, and the Taliban is now sitting in power, taking pictures behind the presidential desk. A lot of people are angry about this, but I have some thoughts that I would like to share with you all. So ever since the Taliban took over, chaos has completely ripped the country apart, especially the capital of Afghanistan, Kabul. The airports have been swarmed by thousands of citizens trying to flee the country. People were hanging onto airplanes while the airplanes were taking off of the runway, falling from the sky because they were so desperate to get out. So while all this disaster is occurring, I want people to think about the fact that this was inevitable. The US would eventually have to step out of that country because it is really not our place to be there. I know that our terms and relations with that country have not always been the best, but just because we see something wrong going on in the country doesn't mean we need to plant a military base there and decide what's right and wrong, what should and shouldn't happen among governmental relations. And I like to give people the analogy, and I say, I'd like to give people this analogy. I pose to them, when the United States had riots and looting during the George Floyd protests in the summer of 2020, would we want or ask for Afghanistan to come and plant military bases all over the United States so they can keep the peace? No. We would want to decide what's right for ourselves and for our own sovereign territory. That is what the people of Afghanistan need, and they have needed. It is wrong that the US has tried to intervene and claim they know what's best for those people. And while I disagree with a bunch of the norms that they may have regarding women, regarding religion, that nation is its own nation, with citizens that occupy it and live their own lives. The US cannot continue to be the policeman of the world. But as we're seeing in the establishment media, on CNN and MSNBC and Fox, they think the US should be the policeman of the world. Biden is getting a ton of blowback for pulling out of Afghanistan, while this is the one issue where I actually support him completely. Because he knows that deep down, we have no reason to be there. But we need our troops in there now to evacuate interpreters and other American contractors and other American citizens, as well as keeping the peace a little bit, maintaining some stability in the airport where everybody's toppling over each other to get out of the country. I think what's next is things will get worse in the country before they get better, but they will have to figure that out for themselves. It's not our job to figure it out for them. And as we've seen, when we try to figure things out for other countries, it does not end well. We saw the Vietnam War We've seen the amazing amounts of coups and interventions that the US has staged and enacted in Iraq and Afghanistan in the 20th century, in South America, in Chile, Argentina, in Central America, in Honduras, Nicaragua, and Guatemala, in most of those situations. The US has opened its arms and said, I am here to bring death and destruction. We are going to manipulate your citizenry and your government with our funds and with our military might to make your country a banana republic. That is not what I want to see happen in Afghanistan, and because we pulled out, maybe it won't. It most likely won't happen. But I think Joe Biden has made the right decision, and I hope he continues to stand by it over these next few weeks as he gets a ton of hate. Thank you all, and have a good day.